Now we come to the chapter 18, monitoring and controlling. First question is, what is controlling? Controlling is the process of monitoring, comparing, and correcting work performance. The purpose of control is to ensure that activities are completed in ways that lead to accomplishment of organizational goals. Why is controlling important? Because the many functions below it is planning, empowering employees, and protecting the workplace. Next is the control process. It is a three-step process of measuring actual performance, comparing actual performance against a standard, and taking managerial action to correct deviations or inadequate standards. What is organizational performance? Performance is the end result of an activity. Organizational performance is the accumulated results of all the organization's work activities. Measure of organizational performance is the productivity, the amount of goods and services produced divided by the inputs needed to generate that output. Controlling for employee performance is the disciplinary actions. The tools for managing organizational performance is the feed-forward, concurrent control, management by working around, and finally the feedback control. We have many financial controls in the traditional control like ratio analysis, budget analysis. Next is the information controls. We have the tool like management information system, which have the abbreviation MIS. The balanced scorecard. We have the balanced scorecard is the performance measurement tool that examines more than just the financial perspective. Then we have the benchmarking of best practices. Is the search for the best practices among competitors or non-competitors that lead to their superior performance. Contemporary issues in control. Adjusting controls for cross-cultural differences and global turmoil. Control techniques can be quite different for different countries. Differences are primarily in the measurement and corrective action steps of the control process. Managers in foreign countries also need to be aware of constraints on corrective actions they can take.
Hello everyone, my name is Kit and today I will continue our presentation with case application chapter 18, and we come to the first case application, top secret. Now the question number 1, if visa being overly cautious, why or why not? Why is this level of controls necessary? And the answer is no. Visa is certainly not being overly cautious in its fortification of its data center. Security breaches are certainly on the uprise and becoming more commonplace each and every day. Moreover, when one considers the sheer number of transactional events which Visa is processing every day, it becomes clear that the likelihood of it encountering some fraudulent attempt of breach is greater than that of other financial institutions. This level of management control is necessary because of all of the various threats financial entities are prone to in contemporary times. These include ransomware, malware, and other number of fraudulent activities. Additionally, it is necessary to implement these controls physically, such as fortifying its compound and conducting its share due diligence on visitors. And the question number 2, which controls would be more important to Visa, feed forward, concurrent, or feedback? Explain. And the most important controls Visa needs to have in place and those pertaining to feedback. These controls provide insight into events that have happened, transactions that have taken place, and other forms of activity which have transpired. It is pivotal for this organization to know the ramifications of those things which is possible via feedback control. And the question number 4, what other managerial controls might be useful to the company? And other managerial controls of benefits to Visa include exceedingly stringent methods for checking the backgrounds of employees, both those whom are actually hired or who are not. A salient financial organization such as Visa could very well encounter corporate spies and other personages who would attempt to discern the workings of its data center for illicit use. And we move to the second case application. The question number 1. What type of control, feed-forward, concurrent, or feedback do you think would have been the most useful in this situation? Explain your choice. The explanations for the failure of the Deepwater Horizon point to a number of deficiencies in control system. Feed-forward control could have been used to provide better testing of deep drilling platforms and machinery used at extreme depths. Concurrent controls could have been in place to ensure the timely response of mitigation teams to control the flow of leaked oil, and weaker response teams to cap the oil well. Feedback controls would include steps to determine the deficiencies of processes, equipment, and personnel response to ensure that future oil spills are capped in a faster time frame. And the question number 2, using exhibit, explain what PP could have done better. In this case, the operators could have done a better job of monitoring the pressure in the well and shut the well down before the explosion. Once the explosion occurred, the size of the spill should have been measured correctly and immediate steps are taken to cap the well. For several days, the well's owners did not know if the well was leaking from the bottom. It took months longer to cap the well than originally thought. The handling of information regarding environmental and economic impact was low at first, and the company did not put the people and resources in place to monitor the impact of the spill and take action to ensure the public of what was being done to solve the problem. And the question number 3, why do you think company employees ignore the red flags, and how could such behavior be changed in the future? And in some respect, the Deepwater Horizon was new technology, while there are thousands of oil wells in the Gulf of Mexico. There are less than a dozen as deep as the Deepwater Horizon. Fortunately, some of those wells used to duplicate and triplicate system. In the case of the Deepwater Horizon, there was only one blowout preventer on the ocean floor, where other deepwater wells used to. Industry and government pressure will ensure that technology and processes change in response to this event. And the last question, what could other organizations learn from PP's mistakes? Periodically, disasters like Deepwater Horizon reminds companies of the danger that their mistakes pose to the environment, society, and the industry. Companies and their top management teams become complacent. They think that it couldn't happen to them. It is from the mistakes that companies learn to put better system and response protocols into place. And that's the end of my section here. The other member will continue with the management practice. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, today I will talk about management practice part 5. Do overwhelming positive results from the 2005 partner survey surprise you? Why or why not? The response is surprising as it is giving better results each time. The employees should be given a chance to express their opinions because celebrating the achievements to motivate the employees, providing an effective coaching, proper channel of feedback, improvement of communication with partners. The next question is, as Starbucks continues to expand globally, what factors might affect partner responses on a partner view survey? Factors that might affect partner responses on a partner view survey are remuneration, motivations, as well as the attitude with a show toward the employees. Question 5. The ideal Starbucks partner should have individual strength and should be able to work as part of team in the retail store setting. Especially individuals must work together as a team to provide the experience that customers expect when they walk into a Starbucks. Questions number 6. Starbucks tries to create a comfortable and encouraging workplace environment for their employees. Starbucks cares for its partner, the relationship and commitments the company has with each and every employee. Those impact might be the salary, health insurance, and the freedom of speech right to speak up the employee's opinion. The next questions. In my opinion, I agree with CEO Tim Donner's opinion because every person has her own demands. As long as your service is good, you always have customers. The daily needs of people are inevitable, so we can say spending money to put people first is smart money. And the final question is, do you agree that leadership succession planning is important? Succession planning is important because at the heart of the talent management process is identifying key roles and mapping out ways to ensure the organizations have the right people with the right skill, capabilities, and experience in the right place at the right time.